Hello there, Texas Deacon here. Thank you for joining me. As you can easily see, I'm not in the deacon's den tonight. I'm in my kitchen. I had not planned on doing this particular lesson at all, but one of my viewers, who goes by the internet name of Wide Awake 73, sent me some very nice comments and wanted to know more, and so I decided I would share with him what knowledge I have. I suppose I will call this the Christian Survivalist Part number 6. What knowledge I have is really based on personal experience, and I guess I will call this history. My grandmother, who was born in 1898, she lived till she was 94, I think, did use some jars like this. These were the big thing. You had a rubber seal, and you put the rubber seal in place. You fill the jar with your whatever you're going to can. Put this down, and you can still find some of these jars at antique malls and things like this. This one here I actually purchased today at a retail outlet. It's really not designed to be canned in, I don't think. More to hold maybe beans, peas, rice, candy, whatever, and it's got a good seal on it. Now, next, I do not have one of them, but I'm going to demonstrate how they work. It was a lid like this, one piece. Inside here it had a very thick piece of glass. And you had a rubber seal that came out, and so you could wash everything and clean the seal. And when you can, you put the seal in, the rubber seal, filled your jar, screwed it down tight, into the canner. Then, of course, the modern one that we have today that has the lid and ring. As you know, I complained on the last lesson about the high cost of these things. They're just a little piece of metal, thin metal with a little rubber on it, and they want an outrageous price for them. And these are generally can only be used one time. Then you got to buy more of them. Now, Wide Awake 73 also made some references to canning using wax. It was very common at one time when you had a shortage of jars and there was no store to go buy any. If there was, you probably didn't have any money. So when it comes to canning jellies, you could put jellies in any container. Jars were used, but a container like this would work fine. Fill it up so far with jelly, pour melted beeswax on top. A rag would go over to keep the bugs out, and a string would tie the rag in place. Now you got to remember, canning in days of old was going to be used in just at least a few months. They were just trying to get through the winter. And, oh, a little sidebar. My grandmother, I've seen a lot of her canning jars. If you damage the lip up here, you still needed to put jellies in it, or in some cases you would can other stuff, but to identify it, you tie a red string around it. So even if you did can vegetables, you would make sure that you use that one first rather than one of the others. Tomatoes. I have said how easy tomatoes are to can. Well, tonight we're going to attempt to can tomatoes right here. Start with tomato. Simple. This tomato has already been washed and prepared, and all you do is cut out the core. Don't even need to peel it, and I know about the peeling method that uses hot water. Not necessary. You will quarter this tomato. blender, and I have some distilled water. Don't have to use distilled water, and I'm pouring an amount in it. Next, I'm putting in the tomatoes. And it just so happens we have other tomatoes. Makes things so much nicer and easier. And you don't put a lot in there. Put the lid back on. Okay, we can see now we can add some more. The next step, we're going to pour this into the pan, and this we'll pour back in. Add more tomatoes. I think I put a little too much water in this particular batch, so it's been a while since I've done this, to be honest with you. And again, again, we're going to repeat the process. Next step, this is our jar, and they also make a little gizmo, makes it easier to hit the mouth of the jar. Tomatoes ready to be canned. Put them in a pressure cooker or an open canner and cook them the appropriate time. And get a cookbook because different altitudes require different cooking times. Hope you learned a little tonight. I kind of enjoyed doing it, to be honest. Some of them were more fun than others. If you have learned anything, check out some books, get online, you learn more, and share it with others. It could be very, very, very valuable knowledge in the not too distant future. May God bless America. May God bless the Republic of Texas. And may God bless you and yours.